Welcome to Jank Play TCG. I'm Landon, and here we play a lot of Jank. Today is actually my first video on TCG Live. I migrated all of my cards over. I had a stack of cards to redeem. I've got a few more here to show you that process. But here is TCG Live. We've got a lot of different things happening here. I just want to give a quick rundown. So right now, we are on the homepage. You log in, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see the Battle Pass here. Tiers, things unlock as you play. You get quests. Those quests will help unlock more things. They're very similar to the challenges of PTCGO. Just certain tasks to complete to earn extra benefits and whatnot. We've got play, which is just playing. Whatever you're going to play, you play. Over here we have ranked and casual. You can go to casual mode, or you can stay in ranked mode. Currently, early on, I've noticed that if I lose, I don't lose any of my rank points. So there's really no reason not to play ranked right now. You have the decks here, all these different decks. Medicham 4 is what I'm going to be showcasing this week. Swords of Justice is what I've been working on, but it's really buggy in PTCG Live currently. So I'm unable to show you that now, which is really frustrating. I was doing some test matches. I'm really liking the deck, even though it doesn't hit strong enough, in my opinion. It's still a lot of fun. So Medicham 4 is what I cooked up, is a zero energy deck. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But what you have to do is you have to click a deck and select active deck. So here's Electric Mice. I click active deck, and then you can see it down here. It's Electric Mice. So I'm going to go back to Medicham 4, as that is the deck that I'll be showing you today and playing this week. We've got Profile here, where you can customize how your avatar looks. You earn points. What do those points go to? I don't know. I've been leveling up. I haven't really looked into any of these, see if there's anything new. I haven't seen it. If we switch to not owned, I'm not really seeing anything. Hats. You can buy things, but that's not that's coins. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure exactly what's going on with this leveling stuff. Is that to change genders, sexes, however you want to say that? Yeah. So you can level up. I'm sure there's some sort of rewards. I can't see them. I can't see what the rewards are. So yeah, we've got play, we've got decks, profile, battle pass, casual, ranked. Up here are the 3 different currencies. Coins, as you saw, you could buy avatar stuff and whatnot. Crystals are more for the shop, while these things over here, I believe they're called credits. They are used for, sorry, you can't see my mouse. Good. They are used for things like buying cards for decks. So let's see, we kind of went over decks and profile already, so let's show off the shop. Oh, bundles. So here we are. We've got different bundles that we can buy. Like here's a Mew VMAX League Battle Deck. You can buy that in the store, get a code card, or you can use crystals to buy this. I haven't bought anything in the shop yet, but it's like, here's this Deoxys V Battle Deck. That is actually the code card that I have to show off today, so I'm not going to buy those. Yeah, nothing really screams out to me like, oh, you've got to own this and that kind of stuff currently. So I haven't bought anything in this store yet. It does force you to buy some packs, actually. So you do get packs for crystals here. I have Silver Tempest selected so I can buy different things, different amounts. You get discounts the more amounts that you buy all at once, but you can select which sets you want to purchase from and purchase from those. They only go back to Sword and Shield, probably because that's all that's in standard currently, which is kind of sad because they do have an expanded thing, but it's not true expanded. So Yeah. You can buy currency if you need more coins for more customization of your avatar and whatnot. You can buy coins here using crystals. So, yeah, there's that. I'm trying to see if there's... I don't see a way to just straight up buy, like, with money. Maybe it's like if you run out of crystals and then you try buying something, it'll tell you. But I'm not doing that, so there's that. I talked about the Battle Pass already. So why don't we just jump in the shop, go to redeem, and we'll redeem our code cards. Now, there is like a QR code. Here, I'll show. There you go. QR code. I'm going to redeem this before I upload it, obviously. So it's going to be a not working code anymore. But there's a QR code, and you could use that with a camera, but because my camera is being used for the video, it won't turn on in the app, which is pretty normal. So I'm just going to go down here, and I know me entering a long string of random things is so interesting. I should have like pre-typed to this and then just copied and pasted it in, but submit code. So there's the 0 or V battle deck. I got one of those. We got this code. CQV. Submit code. Yep, there's the Deoxys V battle deck. And I bought the double pack, so you get a little bit extra with that. And this is the code for the little bit extra. So, I do not buy as much physical product as I used to. I used to buy a ton. I had a ton of Celebrations codes and Pokemon Go codes. But I've really taken a step back from that. And the big things that I purchase now are each decks individually, because sometimes my wife and I just want to play, and it's easy just to pull out a deck and start playing rather than, okay, well, what are you looking for? Let's build this really quick. You know, oh, it's not working. Let's retest it. And you fall into that routine that is less about fun and more about, you know, getting the perfect deck built. So we've decided we're just buying pre-built decks and playing those, and we also buy the stadium, the battle stadiums. They're built-in battle kits. You get 2 of them in there. You get extra packs, dice, all that stuff in a kit. $60. Those are all that we buy nowadays. So everything else is just going to be what I earn through here. And so you collect now, and the thing is that you collect it instantly. So back on PTCGO, you would be able to get a bunch of packs and then wait. Oh man, it's going to go through every card in the deck. I'm just going to hit collect all, and we're going to speed through this. So it shows you what you got and how much credits you got, because I already had a ton of these, so I got a ton of credits. Yeah, done. Those add up. I have over 40,000 credits. If I go into decks, let's edit Medicham 4 and Absol. We want to add 2 in there. Well, we can exchange, and you can see this Absol costs 400 credits to purchase. And you can go up to, I already got 1, so I can buy 3 more. That's 1,200 credits. Yeah, I don't want Absol in the deck, but that's how easy it is to buy the cards you want. It's so much easier to just be like, okay, I'm building a deck. Oh, I don't have that card. I'll buy a play set of it. Building a deck, you know. So I found that to be very simple. I really like it. In all honesty, the aesthetic of PTCG Live has not bothered me really. The avatars are a little weird. There are things that are a little weird. That's just something that happens that people usually grow accustomed to. Just like on PTCGO, our 2D avatars, people grew accustomed to those. People, you know, would dress them up funny and that kind of stuff. With this avatar, I guess the only thing I'm sad to be missing out is facial hair. I got baby face. Like, but yeah, that's about it. That is really PTCG Live. It's pretty simple, self-explanatory. When you first start up, it'll offer you a tutorial for like playing. I skipped that. I don't need a tutorial on how to play Pokemon. It's just getting used to the interface of dragging cards where I want them, selecting them in certain ways, and all that. But yeah, so far I've really enjoyed playing PTCG Live on my phone, just say on the couch. It does eat up a lot of battery, but other than that, yeah, overall it's a fun game. I have ran into an issue where it takes a while to get into a match, but we'll see how long it takes today. So first, I want to show you Medicham 4. Medicham is this amazing psychic Pokemon here with the ability, if you have exactly 4 cards in your hand, this Pokemon's attack costs 3 colorless less. So making Vigorous Kick a free attack, which does 80, but if they have a VMAX in play, it does 90 more. So you're looking at 170 with a Choice Band, 200 damage coming from this psychic single prize Pokemon. Not bad. The biggest issue with it is the fact that V-Stars exist. If your opponent doesn't play a VMAX, you're only doing 80 with a Choice Band 110. 110 is not a lot. That is why I put in Flapple. Now, Flapple does seem like an odd choice, but I'll explain in a second. Flapple to deal extra damage, as well as Radiant Alakazam, because if your opponent's not playing VMAXs, most likely they've got some single prizers sitting around that you can manipulate damage with. I just really enjoy using Radiant Alakazam. Last week's deck had Radiant Alakazam. This week's deck has Radiant Alakazam. I don't know what to tell you. But it allows you to manipulate damage counters, and Flapple, you evolve it from Applin, and anytime you can, once per turn, put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon, and if you use that ability, you shuffle it back into your deck. So it keeps cards in the deck, and the beautiful part about this is when you mix it with the Trainer Turffield Stadium, you really have a lot of room to manipulate your hand size, which I find really comes in handy, as well as Esper and Meowstic here. When you evolve it, you get to search your deck for 2 supporter cards and add them to your hand. Great for searching out your Marnie and Judge. Those are the only supporters that we're playing. That way you can try to get your hand size to the right size. If you have Turffield Stadium, you can search out Flapple, get a card from your deck in your hand, so then you have a bigger hand and you can play a little bit more. It's all about trying to manipulate your hand size to play as many cards as you can and attack for free by having 4 cards in your hand. It reminds me a lot of I believe it was Ancient Origins, XY Ancient Origins, Yamega, where it had an ability where if you only had 4 cards in your hand, the attack cost was free or something like that. A little bit better worded than Medicham, but still, it was a fantastic deck. I really enjoyed seeing that play. That was when I was first getting into Pokemon TCG as a competitive side of things. Yeah, not a big deal. So I really liked this ability, seeing that ability and bring it in here. We, of course, have 1 copy of Manaphy. If we are playing against anything that attacks the bench, you want to get Manaphy down to protect your bench, but Meditite actually does have an ability that protects it from damage if it's on the bench. So you have a little bit extra protection for that early game chance of, oh, they got something out that can deal bench damage. Well, I got Meditite on the bench, can't take any damage. If I have other things on the bench, they can, but not Meditite. So on the trainer side, of course, we've got 4 Judge, 4 Marnie, and 3 POW pads to keep Marnie and Judge in the deck as much as possible, because every turn you're probably playing Marnie and Judge. Marnie or Judge. We've got 4 Evolution Incense to search out all of our stage 1s. We're playing 8 stage 1s. Turffield Stadium can search out the Flapples. And we have 4 Fog Crystals to search out our basic Psychics. Why didn't I go Quick Ball? Quick Ball costs a card. So you play the card, and that's 1 card. So then you have to discard a card, and that's 2 cards. So it's costing you 2 cards out of your hand. That cost is really high when you're trying to manipulate your hand to have exactly 4 cards. I went Fog Crystal, and we just have to rely on naturally drawing into Applins in order to get to Flapple to get that extra damage out there. And I know that sounds terrible, and I agree, but I tried Quick Ball, and it just didn't work. We've got 4 Scoop Up Nets to scoop up our stage 1s to again manipulate our hand a bit. We can play Scoop Up Net, which is 1 card, and we pick up a stage 1 and we get 2 back. So it increases our hand size by 1 and more hand manipulation, but also we get to take advantage of Meowstic more often and get that ability triggered. We also have 4 copies of Trekking Shoes just to help us dig a little bit further in the deck. I've tried other cards in the deck and I felt it to be a little bit more clunky. Maybe in these test games you'll see how Trekking Shoes just helps us dig that little bit extra to get us seeing more cards. And the best part is Trekking Shoes doesn't really cost a card. You play it to draw a card. So it's a +0. You lose Trekking Shoes, but you gain the card on top of your deck. Very handy card. We've got 2 Ordinary Rods for a bit of recovery. Medicham being our only attacker, and we've got 4 of them. Our opponent needs to take 6 prizes, so 2 Ordinary Rod will get us 2 Medichams and Metadites back, and that will allow us to keep playing until the final prize card is taken. We had some room. I threw in 4 Crushing Hammers to try to slow down my opponent as much as possible. When they hit heads, they really help. When they hit tails, they don't. 2 Tool Scrappers, because yet again, more disruption, trying to prevent our opponent from doing a little bit too much on their turn. What you will notice is we do not have a Boss's Orders. We do not have any Gusting. I've tried Pokemon Catcher. Having to hit heads isn't the worst thing in the world. However, just having those item cards, burning them, and all this stuff, it really it interfered with the delicate balance of having 4 cards in hand. Okay, so that is the deck. That is PTCG Live. I'm going to play a test game here, test the deck, and we're going to see how the deck flows. Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun playing it. I know it needs some help. I'm unsure how to get it the help in the current format. I'm not sold on this deck being great, but it's fun at the very least. My favorite types of decks are the 0 energy types of decks. Okay, so this is already screaming pretty fun to me. There we go. We got Applin out on the field, and done. We're not sure if we're going to play Manaphy yet. Cresselia. Okay, so they don't have a spread attacker currently, so we don't really need Manaphy, but we're going first. We won't get to attack this turn. So we got Flapple off the top, and we already have a Flapple in hand, but do we want to... I do want a different card. So I'm going to say no to that card. We're going to draw another card. Judge. Perfect card. Fog Crystal. We are going to grab Metadite here. Metadite's going to go onto the bench. And we're going to play a choice on it. A choice belt. And I don't think we have anything left to do. It's showing us very clearly what we're able to play. We can play another choice belt. We can play Ordinary Rod to get that Flapple back. We can play Manaphy to protect our bench, but I don't think we need to. I'm going to hit end turn. And that was my first turn. So far, we're okay. Next turn, we're going to play down Flapple, and we're going to be able to put 2 damage wherever we want. But first, I'm going to play Judge. Shuffle my hand into the deck, draw 4. My opponent does the same. That's kind of the negative of this deck. Playing Judge is going to help my opponent, obviously, some turns. Some turns, my opponent's not going to have anything, and I'm going to need to lower my hand down. So our opponent just played Training Court, and that's the main reason why we actually play Turffield Stadium, not only to manipulate our hand a little bit more, but to try to get in the way of our opponent as much as possible. So we're going to play Esper, we're going to play Flapple, going to play Judge, because we don't need the other cards. And if we get Medicham this turn, we do with the Evolution Incense. And then we can Fog Crystal, and we can grab another Metadite. We're going to play down the Metadite. We're going to play the Evolution Incense. We're going to grab Medicham. Now you see, my hand is too low. So we are actually not going to do anything. We're going to leave Flapple in the active currently. If they get something in the active that can deal a lot of damage, I don't want them to be taking Medicham. I want them to be taking Flapple. And then next turn we can play Judge, set our hand to 4, and we're good. We're golden. We will hit for free. And that's what we're waiting for. Ooh, playing Boss's Orders, huh? To get Metadite. Interesting. So this does make it a little bit more complicated for me. They are really setting up these Cresselias on the bench. We got Turffield Stadium. That's going to help us manipulate. We're going to play Judge. We get 4 cards. Oof. We do not get anything of value here. We're going to play Crushing Hammer. Got heads. And we are going to discard this Psychic Energy, bringing those 2 Cresselias down to 1 each, so neither one of them is ready to attack. Let's see. We got nothing going on, really. If I play these, it's going to hurt next turn. You know, we don't have to play anything, so we're going to skip another turn. So that Boss's Orders really did mess us up. We do play, do we play Air Balloon? We do play Air Balloon, don't we? Pretty sure we do. So we're waiting for an Air Balloon to get this Metadite out. More likely a Scoop Up Net. Maybe we don't play Air Balloon and we just play Scoop Up Net. So let's see. 30 plus, but they're not going to achieve the plus currently, it looks like. So that's going to help us out. They're going to only do 30 here. We get another Shadow Rider down. They do have the VMAX out. So if I get Medicham out, we're doing 170, 200 against the V. Perfect. So we got Medicham here. Oh no. Oh no. We actually don't have Medicham here. This is our only Medicham. We prized all the others. We played 4. We prized 3. Holy cow. So we're going to play down Radiant Alakazam. We're going to play down Meowstic. Meowstic, yes, is going to grab us Marnie. And I'm going to grab a second Marnie just so it's less likely I draw into one right now. And we're going to hit Marnie. Okay. We did not get a Scoop Up Net, which does definitely hurt. How many supporters do we have? Okay, we've got a couple. We could play Palpad. Get Marnie back. Marnie gets us 1 extra card. So that's why we are playing Marnie. They're going to knock out Metadite, which is going to get Medicham into the active, which is good. Yeah, we're just going to hit end turn. And this is against a bot. We would not survive this long against an actual person, but we would also hope not to prize 3 of our 4 Medicham against an actual person. I know it can happen. It's extremely unlikely to happen, but it did. So we are going to do our best to try to recover from this. Okay, so they Marnie us. That's just going to help us find Scoop Up Nets. We did not. Oh boy. What Pokemon do I have? Just Flapple, right? Not anymore. I've got Meditite too now. Okay. So Medicham will go to the active. It's our turn. Another Evolution Incense. We will Crushing Hammer. Tails. Let's get Meditite and Flapple back in. We will play Marnie. I should have searched for the Flapple first, I think, but there we go. We got to scoop up that finally, now that we don't need it. But we can Apple Drop. We will drag 20 damage onto... We're going to put it on, yeah, Shadow Rider. We've got 5 cards in hand. If we put, yeah, we can play a Pal Pad and get these 2 back. Done. I'm going to play Scoop Up Net, Scoop Up Meowstic, play Esper back down. We've got 4 cards in hand here, and we will Vigorous Kick and hope that we draw into one of our 3 Medichams. Medicham. No! Trekking Shoes! Dang. Okay, so they put up this Shadow Rider, probably because they don't have this Shadow Rider ready to go. And I don't know why they wouldn't put up that Cresselia, but it's a bot. So they... Oh, switch. Switch into Cresselia. Yeah, that's the good move. They were playing Professor's Research anyway, so they wanted to use all their cards. I've done that too. Quick Ball. They got Articuno out. Articuno can hit the bench. Can't it? Yeah. Articuno can hit the bench. It cannot knock out Radiant Alakazam on the bench in 1 hit, so that's pretty good. Okay. So Cresselia is going to take the knockout on Medicham. We're going to play Meditite. We need a Rod. We've got 1 in the discard, so we should have 1 in the deck. No. We need Rod. We did not get Rod. Mastic will just get us more supporters. So we're going to Marnie, because we need a Rod. We did not get anything. If we play Fog Crystal, we can get another Meditite. Play down Meditite. Play down Esper. Play down Manaphy. We can play down Meowstic, get 2 cards. We can Flapple, get 2 cards. But this Meditite's going down because we just can't find. Oof. This deck needs a lot of help, apparently. What would improve this situation? It's tough because, like, you'd say Ultra Ball. You'd say Professor's Research. But those cards are hard to manipulate your hand around. Path to the Peak would only affect my opponent and my Radiant Alakazam. So it would be more disruption, but it relies on your opponent needing Path to the Peak to not be in play. So you're taking a chance there. Turf Field with the Flapples, I felt, was a good option to manipulate your hand a little bit more. Alright. So Meditite. Come on, Rod. No. We got Marnie. So we don't need to play Meowstic in order to find a Marnie. Still nothing. Holy cow. No. We need a Rod. Holy cow. End turn. This is like the worst match ever. So glad I got this on video. Our opponent can just hit and hit and hit and hit, and we're just waiting for another Medicham. We got 3 of them prized. How did we have 3 of them prized? That's crazy. We probably have our second Rod prize, too. We'll put Meditite up. Meowstick. Meowstick we can play, which will let us search our deck. Yes. I'm going to switch to all view. Yeah, we have our rod in there. We are going to grab a Marnie. We're going to put a Judge at the bottom. Done. That made it look like we had 2 Marnies in the discard. We do. We'll put those back for the extra draw. We've got Choice Belt, Turf Field, scoop up the Meowstick so we can use that again in the future. Play down the Esper so it's there waiting for us, and we will Marnie. I did not Turf Field Stadium because if I get Rod and Evolution Incense, which are the 2 cards we need, which we did not get, so I'll just play Applin, Crushing Hammer, Tails. Gonna play Scoop Up Net, Scoop Up Medite, just because they're getting valuable. I will sacrifice Esper, play down that, play down that. I will Turf Field Stadium, just so next turn I don't draw into my second Flapple. Thinning is winning, as they say. End turn. We are getting crushed by the bot. Holy cow. Oh, boss is up the other Esper. Oh, man. The PTCGO bot, I think, is a way better. It played less sophisticated decks, but I think it was way better. Alright, so there's Metadate. Your turn. Evolution Incense, which is not what we need. I'll play down the Flapple. And the best we can do is get Meowstick. Get another Marnie. Hiding Ears, yes. Marnie and Judge. We'll play down Marnie, see how it goes. We got Rod, but we did not get Evolution Incense. So, Medicham, our one and only Medicham's back in the deck, baby. Crushing Hammers. Tails. Of course it would be Tails. Turf Field. Grab Flapple. You can see how often we are ending our turn with 4 cards. So if we actually had our Medichams not prized, we would be golden right here. Oh, they decked out. That's how we won. We lost. To be frank, we lost that match. Our deck did not perform how we wanted to. We prized too many of our valuable cards. We only have 4 attackers, and 3 of them were in the prizes. That wasn't great. So, yeah, if you have any suggestions for this deck, I would love to see them. Is there a way I can... Let's validate deck. I don't know. Is there a way I can see the whole thing? Deck copied to clipboard. There's a way on the phone to see everything. Sadly, it looks like there's not a way to see it here. Let me... If I go duplicate, I can just scroll here, I guess. You know what? That's basically the whole deck right there. That's basically the whole deck. You've got Applin, Flapple, Manaphy, Esper, Meowstick, Medite, Medicham, Radiant Alakazam, Crushing Hammers, Evolution Incense, Fog Crystals, Ordinary Rods, Pal Pads, Scoop Up Nets, Tool Scrapper, Trekking Shoes, Turffield Sam, Judge, Marnie, and Choice Belt. And that's it. So, if you have any ideas on how to fix that terrible, terrible game, let me know in the comments. Because that was a terrible, terrible game. I don't even know how to make it better. But thank you so much for watching and suffering through that game where I prized 3 out of 4 attackers, and that was it. I was done for. Thank you so much for sticking around through that. And just keep playing Jank. Bye-bye.